Guys, back again. My plan was originally to wait for all of my stuff to come in the mail before I started working on my Camaro, but I'm tired of waiting. I need to fix my door handle. I want to install the LEDs, and the new lights, and the taillight covers. So first, I'm going to be installing a new door handle on the driver's side. So I'll show you how to take apart the door and install the new door handle and reinstall the door panel. Then I will move on to installing all of the new brake lights, turn signals, blinkers, side markers, reverse lights, dome light, basically all of the interior lights. I have more for the gauge cluster, but I'm going to wait on that. Then I'll be installing the new side markers and the new blinkers. After I've installed that, I'll go ahead and install the Wade's taillight covers and see how that looks. But that's what we're going to do today. And give me a minute, I'll go down to the car and start working on it. Alright guys, so here we are. It's my door panel. I'm going to start by removing the door handle, and then usually you would remove the screws out of the door piece right here, but mine are already missing. I believe they're T15s, and then you're going to have 3 bolts in the door that are T30s. You're gonna remove those, remove this armrest, remove the plastic piece here. After popping this out, it's simple, just take a screwdriver and get it right behind here and just pull it out. And then you're gonna go around the door and remove all those plastic pins. I'm gonna do it step by step. I can't really hold my phone and do all this, so just give me 1 second. Alright, so I got the window crank pulled out. It can kind of be a pain, but it's not too bad. Basically, this pin holds it in if you've never done it before. This just slides on. And this pin basically clips in behind it. You just got to get a screwdriver in there on this side of it and push it, and it'll come right out. Alright, next I'm going to move on to the armrest, removing the 3 bolts on here, and then we'll move on to removing this piece right here. Alright guys, now we got that removed. You will need an extension to get to these if you're using a ratchet. Most likely you'll probably just use a screwdriver. That's how you remove that. And then the next part is to remove the lock right here, which just pops off. You just get a screwdriver, put it behind there, pop it forward. And then that'll come right out. It's just held in on that wire. Alright. And then since mine's missing all the screws, it's pretty simple. Nothing's holding it in. But 1 second. Alright, now we've got that removed. And remove this piece. And basically you can see what happened. The day I went to buy the car, I was test driving it and I broke the door handle. You can see the split right here. So I'm sick and tired of opening my door from the outside, so I figured I'd go ahead and get this done. Next part is to remove the door panel itself, being very careful not to break the door panel or this top piece. They're not very cheap. So we'll go ahead and do that now. Alright, so I went ahead and removed the top part. These were actually recently bought right before I got the car, so they weren't attached like they were supposed to be. Usually they're a pain in the ass to get off, but I got lucky. So the guy who had it before redid the door panels. As you can tell, he recarpeted them. I don't mind. I think it looks pretty good. It just needs cleaned up. But now we're gonna go ahead and pop all these rivets out, and just be careful not to break it. Alright guys, so basically to remove these, you can use a screwdriver, or you can actually get a tool that's made to go around these and pull it out. Me, I just use a pair of pliers, or in this case I'm just using wire cutters. Basically, I'm just slipping it behind the next rivet and popping it out. As you can see, they're all coming out fine, no problems, but whatever works best for you guys. Alright guys, so I've removed the door handle. Here it is. Basically all you're going to do is you can either remove, pop a rivet here on the back by drilling it out. I don't have a drill. And then this front part that holds in here will just slide forward. Me, I had to pry that so it would come out. I was able to turn it and then pull the door handle off. And all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the new one on and just simply use a bolt and hold it in. So that's what I'm gonna do now. I'm back. Sorry, it's a separate video. I had to run to Home Depot and get a couple things. Basically, when I removed the old door handle, this hole right here had a pop rivet in it. I don't have the drill to remove the pop rivet, so I basically pried it out. Well, as you can see, it made the hole bigger. No big deal. Basically, the only bolts I had were too big to fit through this hole, and I don't have a drill, so I couldn't make the hole bigger. So I went to Home Depot and picked up some different bolts. So we're just going to use a bolt, put a nut on the back, and it'll hold it in. So basically how this door handle goes on is this slides in to that little slot right there and lines up with that hole. Then you have that piece that actually connects through here, and there's a little, I guess, pin that slides over it and locks down to keep your door handle on track. Other than that, that's all there is to it, but I'll keep working on it and I'll show you more in just a second. So I have the door handle on now, not bolted in. It's locked in here. I don't know if you can see it, the pin on that cable. Now, the last step is to just bolt it to the door and then reassemble. So I got the door handle installed. Got the new bolt in. Can't see the nut on the back side. Got that nice and snug with the plastic cover over it. Got the pin on the rod here. Works good. Now we're gonna go ahead and reassemble the door, starting with the actual car cover, or the door cover. Alright, so basically just like how you took it off, you're gonna put it up on the door and you're gonna push it, each one of these in, all the way around. And then you'll move on to the part that sits on top. Let me do that real quick. Alright, so I got the door panel back on. Now the next step is to put this back on. Now you see each one of these little teeth that sticks out. That is actually going to go into each one of these grooves, and then these slots are all going to line up along the metal part of the door. Alright, now that we've got that reinstalled, that's the door so far. Next we're going to move on to the plastic that goes around the door handle. Then we'll reinstall the armrest and then the window crank. Alright, so that's pretty simple. It just slides in over the door handle. Make sure to get this. That can kind of be a pain in the ass to get in, but not too bad. Of course, I'm missing my screws, so mine doesn't really stay all that well, but I'll get those in the mail here in a couple days. Next, you can go ahead and put your little lock back on. There's that. Alright, next is going to be the actual door handle or armrest, and then we'll move on to the window crank. Alright guys, basically when you're installing the armrest, you just want to go ahead and get the two lower bolts started so it's easier to line up. You don't want to tighten one all the way down and then it not line up on another hole. So just make sure to start those, then you can put that one in all the way up here, and then go back and tighten the two lower ones. Alright guys, got the armrest installed, snugged up. Alright, now we're going to move on to the actual door handle crank for the window, which can kind of be a pain in the ass when you're trying to get that pin that's on the back of the crank. So you want to pre-set it on the crank handle and then install it, and then you can just push it down. Alright, now we got the handle reinstalled. Window rolls up and down. Door opens. So that's it for installing a new door handle on the interior of your 1982 to 92 Camaro or Firebird.